Hey there! Today we'll be talking about a very fascinating pen, and I have to say this is one of the perks of reviewing fountain pens online. I was contacted by Sebastian Schweizer through Facebook. He makes pens and he offered to send me one of his handmade pens. Now, a lot of us, I think, when we think of handmade pens, we think of kit pens, but I think this is definitely a step up from your standard kit pen. So forget about the long narrow section if you know what I'm talking about. This is something else. I'm going to put a link to Sebastian's website in the description of the video, because it is Handgefertigte Schreibgeräte Schweizer, and I'm sure that people who do not speak German would appreciate it if I would just write that down. He put his little card in the pen box. That's what I'm going to show you now. I think it's pretty cool. Look at that. A simple wooden box. It's very light. It has a little magnet on there to keep it shut, and for some reason this really reminded me of a fistful of dollars, if you catch my drift. Now, let's open up the box and take out the pen. As I said, I think we have really moved up a serious notch from your average kit pen here. It's a pen made of wood. I'm going to cover the parts of the pen. I'll tell you what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and then I'll do a writing sample. So, first of all, first impression, very positive, but it's a big pen. This is, so that's about 8 inches, and as you can see, capped, it's not a small pen. Now, if we start at the finial, right there, the cap, you see that this is black material. I have the feeling this black material is used so that threads can be added on the inside, because there's little, it looks like brass or copper, I don't know, but some type of material in there that is threaded, and I'm assuming that will be hard to get into the wood. But look at this beautiful wood grain. It's really, really nice. And what is very cool is that even though this part is black, it is completely flush with the cap. There is just no, you cannot even get your nail under it. It's a really, really well made cap. And then you go on to the barrel, which is very nicely tapered, giving it a sort of classical, either a desk pen look or maybe even a sort of dip pen look, which I really like. You open the cap by gently unscrewing it. You don't need a lot of screwing motions, and then you have this wonderful hourglass shaped section, which I like a lot. Notice the little line there, and that's where it screws off, and the pen does take a converter, which is very nice for guys like me who like using bottled ink as opposed to just cartridges. The pen came with a cartridge as well as with a converter. Now the nib I was very pleasantly surprised by, because it is an official Bock nib. So it is not a cheap Iridium Point Germany nib. Again, this is a step up. I believe this is a fine. I couldn't find markings anywhere. And I believe it's a fine, and it works quite nicely. It's a pretty nice, smooth nib. And Bock, it has the little animal on the nib that it is named after. So that is quite cool. Now, just to show you, you see the nice little metal parts. So these are not wooden threads that wear down very quickly. Nice metal threads. A simple converter. I mean, a converter is a converter. What can we say? It's Schmidt, but you know, it holds ink, it draws up ink. That's all you need. And that's it. Now, looking at the pen in my hand, I think it's a brilliant size. Very nice. This is not something I would post. I don't even think you can really post this. It's a bit loose, and I don't want to damage the wood, although you can actually put it on there. But personally, I wouldn't do that. I would just use this pen like this, and then it is very well balanced. It's nice, it's light, it's not too heavy. I really, really enjoy this. Okay, another really cool feature, for those of you like me who hold the pen a bit highly, notice that the threads to keep the cap in place are there. So there's no way you hold them when you hold the pen a bit more highly, for example, like this. You see? So I think that is a very cool feature that Sebastian has done very well. And just for those of you who are interested, I'm not sure whether you can actually see it, but you may see it. There's this type of tube. It's hard to see with the lighting. There's a tube in there that has threads that the cap, that the section holds onto, grabs, uses as purchase, etc. So a very nice pen, I would say. Okay, what do I like about it? What do I not like about it? Well, I love the looks. I don't know what wood this is, but perhaps Sebastian can comment if he sees this. But it's very nice, very warm. It looks a bit like cherry wood to me or something, because it's a very nice, almost reddish quality, which I like a lot. Then I love the shape, that classical, very conical shape, very nice desk penish look, beautiful. The section is very pleasant to hold. I believe it is wood as well, or if it's not wood, it's that same black material as was used on the cap. Maybe it's ebonite. I'm sorry, I'm not sure, but it's very pleasant to hold. It's not slippery. It offers a nice grip. I really like it. The Bock nib, great. I mean, I think even Visconti nibs are made by Bock, so it's definitely a step up from your standard Iridium Point Germany nib. So I like it a lot. Things I don't like about it, well, it's big, and that is, positive, but on the other hand, if you want to take this pen with you, say to work, and you have your standard pen pouch, then clearly you're going to have a problem here because it's not going to fit. Then again, I think we will all agree that this type of pen is not really meant to be carried around all day. This is something you put on your desk, probably in that nice little wooden box that you just use, and you just, you put it on your desk and you pick it out whenever you need it. So I don't really think that's a significant downside, and that's really all I can say. For those of you who must post their pens, well, that's not so good in this one, but believe me, it's very comfortable to use otherwise, unposted, I mean. So here you go, beautiful pen. I'm going to take a couple of measurements. It's a big one, which incidentally is what she said. Alright, that's up to there. Yeah, I think we're looking at about, sorry, I messed that up there. So we got 115. I think we're looking at about 16 centimeters of pen that is capped. Uncapped, I get 153 millimeters. Section diameter at the narrowest point is about 11 millimeters. At the widest point, at the very widest point near the top, it's just over 13, but that's not really where you hold it because of that hourglass shape. So that's pretty cool. Weight-wise, it's about 50 grams. So, but the interesting thing is, although 50 grams is heavy for a pen, it feels quite light. Maybe it's the shape or the wood that just psychologically makes you think, well, wood is not, it's probably not too heavy, but it's very fascinating. So I think that's more than enough talk. I'm sure you want to see the pen in action. That's what we're going to do next. I hope this was useful. Sebastian, thanks so much for sending me this pen. I love it. Guys, I hope this was useful, and I'll see you later. Bye bye. Okay, so here we go with the Sebastian Schweizer fountain pen. I don't know the model. I think the nib is an F or a medium, and the ink is D.R.E. Mentis Oriental Red. Okay, bit of writing. I have to tell you guys, this nib is really nice. Very smooth. Fast writing. Feed keeps up very well, no skipping just there, but that was actually my doing. I misaligned the nib there. But as you can see, ink flow keeps up very well, and the nib is really nice. I don't feel any scratchiness and pretty much no feedback, so very high performance. As to wetness, the pen performs very well. Line variation, as you can see, You can definitely squeeze out a bit there. I wouldn't call that semi-flex, but it's definitely not a nail. So that's very, very cool. I don't know if Sebastian tunes his nibs, but this writes like a tuned nib. So very cool. Sebastian, thanks a lot for sending me this. I really enjoy this pen. It's a work of art and it writes very nicely. Oh, one thing I almost forgot, guys. As you can see, you can even do reverse writing with it, although that runs dry and I think it's going to stop writing at some point. But for those of you who like doing that, there you go. I hope this was useful, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.